More than 1 million students who hope to graduate this year will leave campus with an accumulated debt of roughly $33,000 due to student loans. High rates of unemployment and low salaries means that the majority will have to work for many years, even decades, to pay off their debts. Our correspondent Alice Olstein offers us the report from Washington.
19-year-old Ricardo Fuentes is studying history and education at Montgomery College just outside Washington, D.C. Though it's a public community college, supposedly the cheapest option for higher education in the United States, he is still racking up thousands of dollars of debt.
My parents are working class people. They, living paycheck to paycheck. They couldn't really help me much. And I only work, 20 hours a week at Home Depot. So if I wanted to continue to go to school, I needed to borrow money.
Ricardo is just one of many. More than 70% of undergraduate students leave school with debt, and more than a third of current borrowers are in distress, meaning they're behind on their payments. As individual students and families struggle within the system, the total amount of student debt has begun to alarm economists, politicians, and activists.
It's larger than credit card debt and auto loans combined in this country. It's second only to mortgages in terms of debt in America. And then you add to that we don't even know what sort of the real number is for student debt, because there are a lot of people that, for example, take out second mortgages on their homes to help their kids pay for college.
In just one generation, college tuition in the U.S. has more than tripled. Cash-strapped states slashed their education budgets, shifting college costs onto individual students. Combined with high unemployment for recent graduates, this has disrupted a long-standing social contract in which U.S. students took on a little debt, knowing their degree would help them get a better job down the road.
People were doing what they thought they were supposed to. They were investing in their future. And, there's sort of an element of shame when people are struggling with their loans.
To combat this sense of shame and isolation, Thompson and other organizers have launched online campaigns encouraging students and graduates to step out of the shadows and share their stories.
Despite my over 15 years of payments, that 9% interest rate has been the elephant on my back, and I still owe over $208,000.
If we could lower that payment, we would do what we've been wanting to do for a really long time, which is to have a baby.
I have loans for about $45,000 that I've been working on paying off.
Some young debt holders are even taking their stories to Capitol Hill, hoping to convince lawmakers to reform the system. Local public school teacher Rob Jeremiah testified before Congress in June that his education left him paying around $500 a month to service his debt, likely for the next 8 years or more. Like millions of other young workers around the country, this has prevented him from saving up to buy a house.
It makes me question, what does the United States value? Do we value our education, our children? And the best way to show, or one way to show, is that we care about their future is to help teachers ease the debt burden so they can focus and concentrate on writing more effective lessons and creating better assessments and helping kids be more successful in life.
Calling the current situation not sustainable, President Obama signed an executive order in June to lower the monthly payments of some graduates struggling with student debt. But the measure doesn't help the millions of people with private loans and won't provide relief for anyone until 2015. Many students like Ricardo are demanding more.
First and foremost, make education free for all students, no matter their economic status.
In June, the U.S. Congress considered a bill that would have helped millions of people save money by refinancing their student loans, but it failed by just 4 votes.
Activists say they'll continue pushing, not only for this small measure of relief, but for widespread debt forgiveness and a complete overhaul of the U.S. loan system to make higher education affordable for everyone. Alice Olstein for Telesur in Washington.
A 30